Welcome to Luxury Experiences by Bunty Sika. In our Luxury Eat segment, today we are going to show you 4 different ways to cut lobster tail and cook it. So we are going to actually take 4 lobster tails. So there are 4 different ways we are going to actually show you cut it. The first thing is the traditional, most of the restaurant or fancy restaurants, they would like to actually present the lobster as a full tail on top of the shell. They actually try to keep the shell intact as much as possible. So in that case, you actually cut the shell on the top. You have to show your fingers so you bring the lobster tail out on top of the shell. So that is, if you want to actually do a fancy presentation with the shell, you take the lobster tail out, the meat out, and on the shell. The second way is the simplest way if you want to do at home for your personal cooking. You just want to eat the best possible way the tail can be cooked. So you cut the lobster tail on the top, as well as you cut the tail on the bottom, the shell on the bottom. That makes it actually much easier for the meat to come out. So the correct way to basically isolate the meat, because there's two ways to actually see. There's a this is a little harder to cook, while the internals are actually very soft. Doesn't take much time to cook. So if you separate out the hard part, from the soft part, so this is what you can actually cook faster, and you save this for a different recipe. After doing a cut with the scissors, basically take your knife and just cut the lobster in two parts, the tail into two parts, and you cook the tail as it is. So that's and the final way is the same for cutting the lobster. Into two pieces, and then actually taking it out of the shell. Okay, so what we are going to do is with these two. So here's 4 different ways to actually cut and the lobster tail, and we'll now cook them 4 different ways. Okay, next step is to marinate the lobster tails for all our cooking. So we gently brush with oil. The first rule in my cooking is that we only use olive oil and we only use high quality ingredients. For any good food recipes, the first thing should be the quality of your ingredients. That's like in our technical terms, we use garbage in, garbage out. So if you have bad food to begin with, there is no way you can actually have a good quality meal at the end of it. And the second is I actually use bare minimum spices when marinated. It's just the salt, and the red chili powder. The red chili powder not only give it texture, spice, a little bit of spice. You can add according to your tastes. You don't have to actually use too much of it. You can use black pepper if that's what you desire, but keep it to just salt and pepper, whatever type of pepper you want to use.